Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You're joining us on another episode of the Muslim Mindset. Episode 23, if I'm correct. I saw the poster today. Did you have a look at it? 23? I'm like, nah, it cannot be 23.
No, I think it was 24.
Wow.
Wa alaikum salam. I'll just check to see what time we start.
What do you mean?
On it says what time we start.
Oh, that's the only reason why I looked at the flyer.
Yeah.
It was in green, so it was in an awkward, not an awkward colour. It was in a different colour. So I'm like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Caught my attention.
Yeah, man. But we're coming to an end. We've got, like 10 chapters left.
Yeah.
Less than, I think, 50 pages left. So we're close to wrapping it up.
What I'm happy about is the consistency, to be honest. Even though it's been an off and on, but the 23, even though I can't believe it, just shows that you keep to something, you finish it off.
Yeah, that's it. Alhamdulillah. We're almost there, so we'll wait till we get there, then we can
Do you reckon
celebrate.
the last page will be no one here? We started off with 4, then 3, now at 2.
You know what? Next week, how about you present on your own?
Nah.
You talk to yourself. You keep running around
You're
back
good at
and
that
forth.
stuff. I'm not good at that.
Talk
How
to
are
the
you,
wall.
man?
Alhamdulillah, man. How are you?
Not too bad. This is awkward seating, bro.
Nah, I like
Nothing-
it. It's
nothing too nice.
cozy. You know, it's cold. Come close, bro. Nah, I actually like it. Mashallah, Albayan's got a new setup. We
The
didn't have
mics
this
look
last
fancy. I like them.
time. Yeah, it's very nice. Alhamdulillah. May Allah bless their, you know, their affairs and all that they do. Inshallah, it leads to people strengthening their iman and others joining the faith. Inshallah, Albayan does a lot of good work. Alhamdulillah.
Do you know how many people listen to this?
You know what? It
Just
has
now.
to be more than one. Because I know your mum's listening. My mum probably not.
My wife used to listen.
Yeah, used to.
Yeah. After the first 2, she's like, I see your voice every day.
Yeah. Plus, you lecture at home anyways.
Yeah, I told her the same thing.
Alhamdulillah. We left off.
Last one was good, I have to say.
You
I
weren't
was-
there, that's why.
No, I was, yeah, 'cause that's. No, well, it was actually good. I was cheering. I was like, wow,
You
sure
know
you
what,
guys
yeah.
killed it.
I like those chapters a lot.
Yeah, I could
They
tell.
were very good chapters.
She had a lot to say.
These couple chapters now, you know, how you
As
going?
Ahmed says, they're all the same.
You hate it when I say it, but you know it's true. So I'm gonna let you kick it off, bro. Unless you want me to do the honors.
Be courteous even if you are unable to help.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
mine was help by your speech if you cannot do so in any other way.
And the first dot point was like, slap me in the face. As he was talking to me. Some of the
Yeah.
most difficult moments in one's life arise when individuals seek your help and you have to send them away empty-handed. Something I struggle to tell people no, or I can't help. It bites me.
Forgive me for laughing, bro, but that's
No,
true.
yeah.
This is
I couldn't
for
care less if
anyone
you're
that
laughing.
doesn't know Adnan. This is Adnan's vicious cycle.
Yeah, bro, you're gonna come
Some-
tomorrow, yeah.
Someone will ask him a favor or to take up a task. He'll be like, yeah, no problem. Then another person will ask him a favor or take up a task. Yeah, no problem. And he'll do this for a while, and then 2 months later, he's like, bro, Ahmed, or whoever he's talking, I've taken up too much, bro. That's I'm sacking them all.
He just ghosts everyone.
He ghosts everyone. You don't see him, gains a couple kilos.
It was like on Saturday, bro. Some guy had a car accident. I had to go up and take up the car.
Oh, may Allah reward you, bro. For anyone, he's hinting he came and helped me out.
You
He
guys
was
need
helping
any
me.
panel beating services? You can hire me. That was just a free trial run. That we got.
We use him as the hammer. Nah, but that's a good quality that you have. In all honesty, you
Yeah.
take up a lot of tasks that not necessarily are helping others. Sometimes like it's helping your friends and you join a class and so on and
Yeah.
so forth. You're not necessarily helping others, but you're gaining from it. But other times, yeah, you do. Oh, I'll help you out. Are you giving advice and so on and so forth, which is good. But you also got to know your limitations, right?
I'm
That's
just a softie.
that's
I
the
can't
thing.
help. I don't like upsetting people.
Yeah, except today at work, huh?
What? Oh yeah. That one.
Nah,
yeah,
but
that's on-
You got to know your
frustrated.
limitations, no? Isn't that
Yeah, that's
isn't
why.
that better to know your limitations and therefore know when you can't help someone? Like for instance, you ask me, "Oh, bro, can I get a $10,000 loan?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And in my mind, I know I don't have $10,000, but I'm like to myself, I'll go source it, I'll fundraise this,
Yeah.
that. I'm limited, right? Why do I need to say, yeah, I got you covered,
Yeah.
and then have to go and try and fundraise and do something else elsewhere?
100%.
Like you know what I mean. That may be a very bad example.
I know, and although
but-
it's like a Western mindset you hear often. Oh, focus on you first. It's kind of true. Maybe not wrong, to be honest, but that's what I've been starting to do recently. Is like, all right, you can't help others if you got nothing to give, you know. So focus on you first. Make sure you're good and happy, and then whatever you're capable, then go for it.
Yeah. Look, that concept is heavily rooted in Islam, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu qu anfusakum wa ahlikum nara.
Yeah.
Protect yourself. It doesn't say, oh, protect your friends and then protect yourself from the fire. It's protect yourself and then those that are around you from the fire. Now, like you said, you can't benefit others unless you really benefit yourself. And that's what this chapter is about. And this whole book is trying to benefit others. So I can benefit you if I'm a successful businessman. I can help you business-wise. I can benefit you if I'm knowledgeable by giving you knowledge and so on and so forth, advice and so on and so forth. I need to accrue these skills in order to give them. That's right. You can't give what you don't have, right?
Yeah.
So that was the chapter. But one thing that we all have, okay, that we need to be mindful of is a tongue, and that's what the chapter pretty much
for
came
me. It
down
was
to.
more of like, you're gonna upset people if you're unable to help, but make it up with them by saying something nice, leaving them.
That's right.
Nice
So I'm not able to help you on the weekend. You know, you need a hand moving houses because I've got work or whatever it may be, or you need money. I don't have the money, but I can help you by either giving you advice, or by making a du'a for you, which comes in the next chapter, or by gently but nicely declining the offer that is given to me. Does that make sense? And that's how we should be, you know. Like, as we said before in the previous chapters, the tongue is king. So you can use it. You know, like I'll give you an example, and then I'll let you chime in. You might be like, "Oh, bro, can I borrow $1,000?" Nah, go sack yourself, bro. Sorry, I don't got it. I was like, look, may Allah straighten your affairs and rid you of all your debts. I don't have $1,000. I can get the ball rolling. Perhaps I'll give you $100.
Yeah.
You know, and say I don't even have the $100. May Allah straighten your affairs. Look, let me. Yeah, if I had, you'd be the first person I'd give. And you know what? Let me see if I can help you in any other way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's pretty much it.
Rejecting people nicely, and I think for me, even it hits them. That's why when people like me or similar, I find that if I'm gonna reject someone, I'm like, oh, they're gonna lash out. They're gonna think I'm a bakhil. They're gonna think I'm just rejecting them. I'm sacking them. I don't like them or whatever it is. So it says here, like, you'll find at times people accusing you of stinginess, other times being selfish or accusing you of something else. You know, that's in the back of my head. Oh, if I don't give him, he's gonna think that. Or if I don't help him out, he's gonna think that.
You know what? But that's a fault within them.
Yeah. No, even though some people might not be like that.
More so than anything, I think that's a fault within them. Like, if I ask you for advice or ask you for something and you say no, why the hell would I start thinking, oh, this guy's a tight ass, or, you know what? Like, one, you're not obliged to help me.
Yeah.
Two, I don't know your situation, so it's from the Islamic narrative that we have husnul dhan, and assume that okay, he's got something else going on. Whatever it may be, come up with, I don't know what's the number, 70 excuses?
Something like that.
70 excuses before you come to a conclusion of some sort. So, look, don't get me wrong, sometimes the person is ill-mannered or a tight ass, or they're just lazy, but you shouldn't assume that from the get-go if they unable to help you and you require assistance. Yeah, so that was that.
It's good. Then I think most of the chapter was saying how to be, what's the word called exactly? How to be nice and declining and being a bit smart about it, So being an expert in getting out of tight situations. So someone invites you to dinner, Ahmed's not going to like this. Not lying, but saying, oh, you're busy, just getting out of it without lying.
Well, yeah. That's the standard line, oh, I'm busy. What are you busy with?
Nothing.
Don't
I'm
ask.
busy with nothing.
Don't ask.
No, not even don't ask, but like, some people, not you, other people, like they pod question, like I can't be bothered answering, but like answering it is a worse thing to do.
You have your own internal struggles, bro. You need a counselor.
I've got 1,000 thoughts in my head.
You need a counselor.
I need sleep.
No, but the author went into actually the Treaty of Hudaybiyah.
Yeah, that one was a pretty good example, and it's a hard one as well. Like,
you know what? When I got into, I'm like, why is this in here?
Yeah.
when I looked at the chapter heading, so it was like 15 pages for this one chapter. I'm like,
Like,
come
what's
on,
going on?
man, what's going on here? And then it was pretty much the whole thing was the story of
And I think there's many
Treaty of
lessons from
Hudaybiyah.
that story. Firstly, I think the most obvious one is where the Treaty of Hudaybiyah, where the Prophet made an agreement with the Meccans, Quraysh, saying, look, anyone that becomes a Muslim from Mecca and comes to Medina, we'll send them back to Medina, back to Mecca, and anyone from Medina that apostates goes back to Mecca, they can accept them. So essentially, the non-Muslims had the upper hand.
See, I didn't. Yeah, to me, I never understood that. Like, I was like, man, and like the Sahaba were in the same boat, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, how is that of any benefit to the Muslims in any way, shape, or form?
I think it was the Prophet trying to not please them, but sort of. I read it. It was like a sort of da'wah thing. Yes,
soften them, so
their hearts,
to not, yeah. But ultimately, it did benefit the Muslims as well, as they, you know, the Muslims, Abu Jasir, was it Abu Jali, Abu Jandal, Abu Basir,
yeah.
Who Abu Basir ended up, you know, hijacking all the caravans and so on and so forth.
So for that, there's like two things to it. It's like, okay, you've made a deal and you've got to reject all the Muslims that run to you. Imagine you're in a Prophet's shoes and saying no, how your heart would break. Like, these guys ran from Mecca to Medina. It's like a 4-hour bus ride. I don't know how long it would have been back then.
6 hours.
6 hours. Back then, what? 3
2
days
weeks.
traveling or something.
2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
6, wow.
6 hours by bus, bro. That's like flooring it.
Yeah, the guys actually flooring it.
Non-stop, they do. They floor it, yeah. And then
subhanallah.
imagine by camel or horse or walking.
Yeah, and imagine going. But the thing is, imagine going there and getting rejected, bro. That's what was the second spin on it for me, is how they stayed Muslim when they ran all the way there and to get rejected, and they still didn't shake in their iman and weren't upset. Like, oh, what the heck, you know? I traveled that long.
I actually thought that as well. Like, but it just shows you that the faith isn't dependent on the actions of others. Your faith shouldn't be dependent on the action of others. It's your commitment and your conviction to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because no matter where you are, who you're with, whatever it may be, the faith is the same, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what you do to me or what I do to you. The truth is the truth, and it stays that way.
It's a good point. A tangent we're going off, but I'm happy to go there. Is like, I know a couple of guys or work with or whatever it is. They're from so-called Muslim country, where they come from Australia, and then they become atheists, they become murtad. They don't care about Islam and stuff. So I like speaking to them and asking them and figuring out why, like what made them talk. And they it gets a bit awkward because, you know, it's a touchy subject. But I'm open with them, like,
because they know they're in the wrong.
Yeah. Or they feel like I'm thinking bad against them. And to be honest, I couldn't really care. But I was speaking to them, and a lot of them saying, "Oh, I don't want to become Muslim anymore," is because of the actions of others. And in my head, and I told them, and I admitted it, it's like, why are you letting those so-called Muslim leaders that you say they're hypocritical, they force you to learn Islam in your schools, and they're doing the opposite? Why are you letting the dictator or the politician affect your understanding or affect your faith? He's like, oh, he's a hypocrite. I'm like, all right, we agree he's a hypocrite. So why are you still not Muslim for? If you agree that being a Muslim teaches you all the right ethics and morals and standards, why are you saying no to Islam if you know that it's the action of one person that's wrong? And
if you want to get into that, like, one, they're fake.
It's a fake excuse, yeah.
Fake excuse. The reason is they want to chase their desires.
Yeah.
They're not able to chase their desires back home because of the rules and regulations back there.
Yeah.
Okay? They come here, they want to chase their desires, and they do see the hypocrisy of their leaders, so then they just leave because it's easier.
It is excuse or something.
It's easier. It's definitely easier to not believe, right?
Yeah.
Like in certain aspects, it's much easier.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
That's right.
Especially when you're in Australia, like, it's becoming much more harder to stay Muslim.
Yeah, but look, I know we're going off tangents, but I mean it's benefit, right? The tongue is benefiting, so to speak. The opposite side. Man, I lost my train of thought. So how it's difficult, difficult to. You're saying it's more and more difficult to be Muslim, but at the same time, I find that Islam makes it easier to deal with the world. And what I mean by that, like, I can imagine if I didn't have the faith, alhamdulillah I have the faith, being in the situation that, you know, or anyone, in a situation that they're in, finances wise, or something goes wrong in their life, and so on and so forth, you'll fall into depression and sadness, and oh, what the hell, I'm gonna live on the street, and you stress and
fair.
anxiety. You start fearing what's gonna happen. But Islam makes it easy on me when I know that I should, have tawakkul in Allah's plan, do my part, and know that at the end of the day, this is a temporary life. Then it makes it easier to deal with the sorrows of this world. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not easy necessarily. For instance, is it easier to not pray or to pray? Sure, it's easier to not pray.
Yeah.
You're out and about, go try and find the source of water and a clean area to pray, figure out where the Qibla is.
Yeah.
It's easier to just go by your day. But is it easier to stress about your life and this and that because you have no idea what's going to be your final abode and what the hell life is going to bring? Or is it easier to deal with the stresses of life, but at the end of the day, your heart is somewhat content. You know that there's a greater plan here, and it's
That's-
better for you. عسى أن تكرهوا شيئا وهو خير
Yeah.
لكم وعسى أن تحبوا شيئا وهو شر لكم. Whatever you might think is this stressful or hard for you, it's at the end of the day it can be better for you. It will be better.
That's
for you.
honestly the blessing of Islam, is that it's a deen. Deen is like a way of life, and it has an answer for absolutely every situation.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
And
No
that's what I
matter-
mean. Like it does make it easier for us.
For the
These
poor,
people
it's
that
being
tell you it's
grateful.
fake.
For the rich, is giving back to the poor, and a honest, and being a circle to being grateful to what you have, and being accepting of what Allah's given you of the bad, having future good faith, and knowing that even if you're in a very bad situation, khalas, Allah's given us for the oppressed, Allah's given us Jannah and Jahannam. He's not going to take away from your hat.
The poor enter Jannah before the rich, and so on and so
Yeah.
forth. Less accountability. So there's always like a there's always a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was listening to a podcast with Jordan Peterson and Hamza
Yeah.
Yusuf.
I saw that.
And Sheikh Hamza Yusuf was saying that he came across some guy in a hotel lobby. He's drinking a beer, and he's reading a translation of the Quran at the same time.
Yeah.
He's like, and he approached him, was like, "How's the read?" He's like, "Wow, this is one of the greatest books I've ever read." He's not a Muslim.
Yeah.
He's like, it's always, but it's like a constant roller coaster of tension and release, Like, and what he meant by that was like, it will talk about the sinners and their final abode, but then it will follow that up with those that are righteous and their final abode. Like,
yeah.
you get tense, and then the release. You know what I mean? So there's always a release for the righteous and a good Muslim.
Exactly.
And
And I
that's
think
what
as well, like Islam, naturally, those people that are like, you hear a lot of people like just normal Western, like it's caught in a rat race. Oh, they get bored, they're sick of working, they question their life. I think Islam gives you naturally, honestly, these checkpoints where different stages at your life, there's different things for you to do and for you to achieve. Like growing up, for example, being a youth, you're focusing on yourself and you're learning your Islam and etc. Then going to getting married and doing it the right way, and the things of being, a husband and wife, and as well when kids teaching your kids. And then there's also Ramadan to Ramadan, that checkpoint of reflecting on a past year and moving forward. And then there's also Hajj, that comes when people are average in Australia, probably when you're average age 20 to 30. So it always gives you something different, because you hear a lot of people I'm hearing recently, I'm sick of life, what I've got to do, I'm working, going home, paying off my mortgage, and that's it. They don't have anything extracurricular at all. They go play soccer on a weekend, but they watch the cricket and they go to sleep and they go to bro. Some guys have no life, bro. Wallah, like some guys at my work, bro, they're at a job site at 4 a.m. Ahmed, 4 a.m. 4:30, and I was like joking. One of the guys I was working with, he's never done that, and he was laughing because he's a Fijian guy, he's a lot more relaxed. He's like, I was on a job site with Jimmy, and he was making me use a torch, so I couldn't even see the ground. I'm walking over the torch, looking, what am I supposed to be doing?
I can imagine he cracked up.
Yeah, I'm like, and then subhanAllah, that's his lifestyle. Sleeps sharp at 8 p.m. Sorry, he's up and he's on the job at 4 a.m. in the morning.
What a bothered guy.
Like, what a hayat, man.
Yeah, straight up. Yeah, may Allah guide them all to Islam and keep us all steadfast. Yeah, man. So let's get back to the topic, because we can go on forever, and we got to finish off before Aisha. That was pretty much it for me on this chapter, really.
I'll add a couple of things that I
Yeah,
was going
please
to add
do.
as well.
Yeah.
Is when that guy Abu Basir, when a Sahaba Abu Basir ran to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam when they were in
Sallallahu.
Medina, and the Prophet knew he had to reject him, like he had to keep his part of the contract. I think the way he tried to leave a nice impression with Abu Basir. Oh, of course he left a nice impression by saying what a warrior to Abu Basir and complimenting him, even when he had to reject him and saying going back to Medina.
Yeah.
To instill that love that look, we're not rejecting you, we're not looking away from you, we agree with you, we understand your pain, but at this point in time doesn't allow for it, for
Yeah.
example, you know. So didn't as if push him away. It was like, you know,
Yeah.
giving him that appreciation or the acceptance, saying look, you're not wrong.
We acknowledge what
Yeah.
the effort and what you've done. And subhanAllah, like, I don't want to get into the Treaty of Hudaybiyah, but it just shows you the character that a Muslim should have. That when they give their word, they stick to it.
Yeah,
No matter whether it's to Jamal or James.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
You sign a
Muslim or
contract, it's a
non-Muslim.
contract.
Even if it's not a signed contract, a verbal contract.
Yeah, definitely.
I give you my word, I'm gonna be here at this time. I give you my word, you give me this much money, I'll do this service for you.
Yeah,
I give you my word that I'll stop doing this, you stop doing that, or I do this, you do that, whatever it may be. There's 1,001 things that you
Yeah.
can promise and agree to. But ultimately, a true Muslim sticks to their word, no matter what the situation is. Obviously, there'll be times where you'll require, like a
special
leniency or
circumstance. Yeah, it's different.
yeah, but you still try your hardest to stick to your word,
Yeah.
and that's really it.
I think as well, honestly, it's the proof of being a man or like respectful. You know, people that are respected, or that I can think of, or have that thing where when they say it, they mean it. You know, you're not doubting yourself. You know, he's not gonna do it again or whatever it is. It's like no, he said it. He's gonna do it. Trust me.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's very
Very rare.
far and few in between that have
Yeah,
that trait.
honestly, that's why it sticks out. Like how weird it is that now that trait is the one that sticks out when it should be a trait of every person.
Well, even that's why the Prophet ﷺ says, like, the signs of a hypocrite or a liar is that a hypocrite is that when he speaks he lies,
Nice.
when he makes a promise he breaks it. These are the signs of the hypocrites, and they're the worst of the people. So it's nothing to be proud about, or
Did you read the last part? It was funny. Of the
yeah, with
chapter.
the wife, and
Yeah.
the husband. Yeah, I didn't even get it, to be honest. I don't understand why he was so mean to her. She was so nice.
Because imagine he's on his deathbed.
He's
And
not on his deathbed.
I'm pretty sure it was.
He's just stressed about life.
Yeah, he's just about life. He had in his old shack, everything breaking down, and then she's telling him, "Oh, I wish we had this and this and this and that."
No,
He's probably thinking he's a failure. He's got so much debt. he can't
no, she
provide a
didn't
good-
say I wish this. I wish that one day you own a huge house.
That, well, yeah, we owned a huge house to enjoy. Whatever. The guy's at the end of his life, so
Yeah.
he's thinking, "What a failure I've been. I couldn't give this to my family." And that's what, like, you don't want to hear it. That's what she wants. Like,
Yeah.
he's trying to give it the
And
best.
then he's like, I wish you died, pretty much.
I wish
Splits-
one of the trunks hit you in the head. That's better.
And splits it open.
No, I didn't get that one. See, I'm
That's it.
telling you, bro. He's just edited every sentence. He's reading it backwards. Have you done that when you're at uni
Yeah.
to get away with the copyright? Not the copyright. What's the plagiarism? You just write the sentence backwards.
Switch it around, yeah, for sure.
Supplication.
Yeah, wrap us up then. You gotta wrap us up.
I've got whoever. There's two hadiths. Is there anything that throws people into hellfire upon their faces or on their noses except the harvests of their tongues? And whoever guarantees me the chastity of what is between the legs and what is between his or her jaws, I guarantee him paradise. You were speaking about that last one or the one before? I can't remember.
Yeah. Look, because there's been a few chapters on the tongue. Yeah, we've definitely mentioned that hadith.
Supplication.
So supplication. This ties in very nicely with using your
Your
words, your speech to really bring someone to your side or make them more inclined or happy or so on and so forth.
And can be used in conjunction with the previous one. If you can't fulfill someone's promise, making a dua for them
Yeah.
or whatever it is, always brightens their mood.
Yeah, and this chapter wasn't about how to make dua, what are the best du'as, what times to make dua, what state to be in when you make dua, so on and so forth. So it wasn't regarding the fiqh of dua, but it was more so telling us what the benefits of dua can have on another person, in the sense that I can make and then very overly joyed by saying, "May Allah bless you with righteous children, and a fruitful progeny." You know,
Mm.
something like that. That'll make Adnan happy. Give him a smile, and then he'll make du'a for me as well, and the angels make du'a for me. So it was ultimately about supplicating for someone else, you know, to really make them happy.
I'll tell you a little secret that always works.
What?
If you're a man, especially,
What?
like, you know, if someone gets married, or like when I got married, someone's all these old men congratulating me, and you say "Abelak" to them, just their eyes light up.
Yeah, that's true. You know what? I was subhanAllah, actually, I was thinking about it.
In a reverse card.
There was this one person, they get happy, bro.
Yeah.
They get so happy. I'm like, oh yeah, thank you, find me someone.
Find me-
They're like, oh, find me sisters, you know, 2 sisters, one for me, one for you. But there was this one brother, I actually caught up with him over the phone this week, and I remember him mainly for this dua that he used to make. It was a very unique, and never heard that dua before in my life.
Yeah.
And even the sheikh says that. He says that when you make dua for someone, like, you know, I'm not going to say, you know, Allah yajzik al khair, because everyone
Says that.
says that. Look, whether you want to say that or not, it doesn't matter. It's a dua at the end of the day, and it's therefore, inshallah, you know, something good. But if you make something a bit more unique, specific to the person and their situation, then it's more likely to have an impact.
Yeah.
Right? Does that make sense?
100%.
So this guy, it wasn't necessarily unique or specific to my situation, but it was a unique dua. He would say, "May Allah bless you." Oh, this was like when I was 17, 18. It's like, "May Allah bless you with a wife that doesn't fast or doesn't pray." I'm like, what?
What?
He's like, the hoor, bro, the hoor,
Oh.
the hoor, that don't fast and that don't pray. I'm like, bro, you're a crack up.
Never even thought of that.
I never thought of that either. I'm like, bro, what the hell is, do you want to punch
That's a
on?
good.
Do you want to punch on, bro?
strategic
you want to punch on? No, he's like, no, the hoor, bro. And you know what? Unique dua, he used to say it, you know, he used to say it to make the person laugh, but also, at the end of the day, it's ultimately
dua.
asking Allah to grant them Jannah,
Jannah, yeah.
right? Because that's the only place you get the hope. So, I remember him for that dua, and I will never forget him. And when I caught up with him over the phone, I'm like, he didn't know who it was when I called him. I'm like, bro, do you remember? I'm like, because I wasn't saying my name. I'm like, you used to say this dua for me all the time. He's like, bro, I say the dua for everyone. And I'm like, and then once I told him it was, and then we caught up, and inshallah, we caught up for a while over the phone.
No.
But look, that guy, like I said, ultimately
Stood
he
out.
stood out, and I'll forever remember him as
Hood guy.
the hood guy. Yeah, and I'll make dua for him. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Maybe that's what he really wants. You know, he make that for people.
Of
just
course,
make
he
it up
loved
himself.
it. He would love that dua.
He just says, just say Amin. That's why he wants it.
I mean, and the sheikh made similar stories.
Yeah, especially about the cigarette one that stood out to me.
Man, you know when he was talking to the cameraman, and the cameraman is like, "Don't advise me. There's no point." He was like insistent. My blood was boiling. I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
how many people, especially for smoking, do you know that you speak to? They're like, oh, there's no point in telling me. And like at work, for instance, I'll advise someone, not necessarily Islamically, for the sake of their eye health. You know, I'll tell them, oh, you know, you should stop smoking. This, that. It's better for your eyes, and so on and so forth. And they're like, oh, move on, don't bother. Like,
Yeah.
I've been smoking for 20, 30, 40 years, 50 years. What are you going to tell me? Inshallah, I'll die tomorrow. I wouldn't stop smoking. You tell me I'm going to die tomorrow. That's
Yeah.
literally what they tell me. If I was to die tomorrow, I'm not going to quit smoking. Like, as if it's
I hate that mentality.
I hate that mentality as well. Like, they're so ready for death and not scared of anything. You know what I mean? And they love, like,
I think they're so to the sin.
attached.
No, not attached. They're just over it. Like doesn't have an impact for them anymore.
Yeah, desensitized.
Yeah.
Desensitized. You know what? A lot of people still think that it's not haram.
Bro, I was telling you, there's a generation that you follow like your crowd. So even like the proper wearing of the scarf or whatever it is, it's a lot of people genuinely don't know, especially like girls that don't actually know, but they see how others wear it in the street, and I think that's literally the right way to wear it.
Yeah.
So my wife was saying like her friends, she was literally shocked when you told her you've got to be covering your ankles and you can't be showing your neck. She's like, what do you mean? Like the whole Green Acre, the whole Banks, the whole freaking area does it.
Yeah.
You know, and she was actually genuinely shocked. She didn't know.
Yeah.
So it's a thing for all people to teach your families and teach your kids religion, and
Yeah.
subhanallah. That's
True.
frustrating.
The thing as well with the smoking is there was a time where it was considered
Yeah.
just makruh as well, and
Now's the issue of
they
vaping.
like touch I'm gonna and run with it, you know, like it's not haram, it's makruh, but and they'll be oblivious to whatever else is told to them
It's
afterwards.
vape, you know, when you're young, oh, what's wrong with smoking marijuana? It makes me happy only. I'm like, oh my god.
There's no harm whatsoever.
Wallahi, no.
Even with the vape now, it's bad. I'm at work, and the manager at work, he
Yeah.
just pulls out a vape, like in the room, take a couple puff in the middle of a shopping center, whatever, and just goes about his day. Kids, 12-year-olds, 14-year-olds walking around shopping center, they're like, because you put it away. Like if you pull out a cigarette, you're not gonna put it in your
Yeah.
pocket and that's it, it's gone. But vape, you see the smoke, you turn around, it's gone, and there's no one holding anything.
Yeah.
It's in their pocket.
Even
You
on
know-
the street, bro, when I'm driving, I saw something flashing on the floor. I'm like, someone dropped their phone. It was in the middle of the night. Flashing, I'm looking at it, and there's like a vape on the floor. Just I think it needed to be charged or something. It was flashing light. I'm like, wow.
Did you sell it?
Nah, it's
Did
broken.
you charge it?
I didn't have the
Oh
plug.
man, USB-C.
Oh, that's I didn't have.
Oh my god. Yeah. Anyways,
What stood out to me is with him advising the cameraman, he was harsh to him, and sometimes I think we get upset being harsh to people, but sometimes
who was harsh to him?
the sheikh was harsh to him. I can't remember exactly what he was saying.
The harshness.
Oh, yeah, may
like,
Allah
also-
accept not.
yeah.
May Allah either accept your Hajj only if you break your.
No, he
stop
said at the
smoking.
end, may Allah accept these du'as if you stop smoking, and may Allah not accept these du'as
If you keep smoking.
if you keep smoking.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
And then imagine just, it's like a trump card. Like, I think sometimes you need to be smacked back into reality when you're so desensitized to something, or when you're so used to something, and he just smacks you in the face, and you realize,
Yeah.
alright, like what happened?
Yeah.
You know, it could be anything. It's like, for example, I don't know, driving without a seatbelt, without a phone. You get so used to it until you have a car accident, then that shocks you for the next couple of years.
Yeah. And that's the reality of the situation. Sometimes we need a big shock,
Yeah,
and you gotta suss out the person and know what's gonna shock them. Could be like that du'a that the sheikh made, might require something less, you know, or less like intense, or something more intense than that. But nothing should stop you from trying to advise someone, and that's with
100%.
kind words, advice, du'a, whatever it may be, and ultimately that's the whole purpose of this book, in
yeah.
trying to make you better so that you can then better those around you.
And I think people should start, honestly, you were saying it last time, people being on a receiving end and actually taking advice when people say it. When
Yeah.
people give it to you, don't be so, oh, he was rude to me, or he was this, or whatever, you know, he could have said a nicer way, he could have done this and that.
Just take
you
it and run.
You threw the whole point away because of something small, you know, something
So,
little you
minor.
want to focus on, you know,
Yeah.
and just explode.
May Allah safeguard us all, man. May Allah safeguard us all.
Oh, man.
Let me wrap us up on this chapter. Did you have anything else you wanted to add?
No, it's
no.
quite repetitive.
Let me just scroll down because I haven't memorized it. It says, your Lord has said, call me and I will answer you. That is in Surah Al-Baqarah, I believe.
No. What, man?
Anyways, what does it say on your one?
Mu'min. I don't know, is that Surah?
Yeah, Surah
Or is it Mu'minun?
Yeah.
I think that I'm typo.
Alright,
Patching things
last
up.
but not, what do we have time? What do you reckon? We can finish this in 10 minutes so
Yalla.
we can make it to Asha, or you want to leave for another week?
10 minutes, it's 2 pages.
Alright, go. Hit us up.
Patching things up.
Patching up, yeah, that's what I got as well.
Like your Gyprock.
Go, yalla.
You start.
You're gonna have to start, bro. I've skimmed through this chapter. It's been a very
so
busy. We leave you with this short break. Let's leave it for another week, bro. Let's leave it for another
Khalas.
week. Plus, that way we can prepare for Asha.
So we can go make wudu. Now we're thinking of the people.
That's it.
هذا والله أعلم وصلى الله على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم.
Yalla, assalamu alaikum.
You're listening to the voice of Albayan.
إذاعة البيان، صوت أهل السنة والجماعة في أستراليا.